Hey guys, welcome back to Every2 here. Today we're doing another classic. Believe it or not, it has been a whole year since the last Game Awards video I did. The 2022 Game Awards are coming December 9th, so in a little while here, a couple weeks, and it's now able to be voted. So the voting is now open for the Game Awards. So if you want to vote along with me, if you're on like a browser or if you have it up on something else and you have your phone, there's a link in the description. You can go, or you can just look up the Game Awards. Otherwise, wait until the video's over and you can go vote as well. Make sure you do vote. You don't have to vote for what I vote for, but make sure you do. Today we're going to be going through all the categories, and I'm going to be giving what I think should win as well as what I think might win. So, like I'll say, this is my favorite game, but I think this game might win anyways. That sort of a thing. I have always loved the Game Awards. I like to check them out. I used to think back when they were really, really bad, I used to make videos about how awful the Game Awards was. And now they've sort of actually become good in the last couple of years. And now, since they're making gaming more mainstream, I like to try and just make something about them every year and sort of support them. So today, we're going to go through all the categories. Some of them are always a wash, but we're going to go through all the categories. And what I don't like is that they always start with the best ones first. I wish they waited, but Game of the Year. Let's get straight into it. And also, you guys let me know down below your ideas for some of these. What your Game of the Year was. It doesn't have to be one of these either, because a lot of the time it's not on the list. Hopefully my camera doesn't cover too much. I'll try and scroll down a bit for you guys. I'm kind of large on this one. You guys let me know if I'm too big in the comments, and I'll adjust as we go. I thought I was too small last time, so... Game of the Year. Best game of the entire year of 2021. There was a lot of games that were supposed to be 2021. They all got sent to 2022. So this is a shorter list than I would think, and not that many great games, but some really good ones. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Metroid Dread, Psychonauts 2, Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, and Resident Evil Village. Now, for me, there's a definite standout here, though I do think Deathloop is really good. I have to give it to Ratchet & Clank. For me, that's the only... Really, I only played 2 of these games, but that's really the only game that is so solid, the whole way through, and just very well written, great gameplay, a very good core game just straight through. It's pretty short, but it's solid, and amazing graphically as well. For me, it's got to be Ratchet. So that's where my vote goes for Game of the Year. Like I said, I guess this is all we had this year. It's kind of crazy, but... That's where I'm at. Game of the Year. Next category. Best Game Direction. Again, sort of the same games. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Returnal, Psychonauts 2, and Ratchet. Returnal easily could have been in the Game of the Year stuff. The Returnal is an amazing game. I don't think it would beat Ratchet, and maybe they want to keep the Sony exclusives down to a minimum when they have Deathloop and Ratchet and all that. I don't really know. Returnal is an incredible game. I think for game direction, though, I really have to give it to Ratchet again. I just think it's a very, very well-made game. Best Narrative. Deathloop, It Takes Two, Life is Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy, or Psychonauts 2. Now, I know a lot about the Guardians game, but I've only played Deathloop out of these games, and to me, that's the game that I would say is best narrative. I thought it was a really intriguing game. The whole basic core part of the game is tied right into the narrative, the looping and the story and the conversation between the two characters is all really well done. The humor is really good. I gotta give it to that. I also really like the ending of Deathloop. If you're not gonna play Deathloop, check out the ending. I think it's really cool. If you are gonna play it, try and get to the end. Best Art Direction. Artful Escape, I've never heard of, indie game. Deathloop, Kena, Bridge of Spirits, Psychonauts, and Ratchet. I really wanted to play Kena, but it didn't get that hot of reviews, and so I kind of skipped it. But I'm gonna play it eventually. Psychonauts, I've always loved the art direction, but Psychonauts 2 just came out and no one really noticed, so I didn't play it either. But it's also a pretty high price tag for me, honestly. But let's go with best art direction. I gotta go Ratchet again. Ratchet looks like a Pixar movie. If you haven't seen how Ratchet looks, look that shit up. It's kind of nuts. For a video game, some of the best graphics I've ever seen. Best score and music. Artful Escape, Cyberpunk, Deathloop, Guardians, and Nier. I gotta give it to Guardians. They have some really good tracks in that game. Actual songs, not just songs for the game, but real music. I haven't played a couple of these games, and I cannot believe that Cyberpunk is nominated for multiple Game of the Year awards. which whatever. Anyways, Guardians. Best audio design. It's got to go to Res Village. I'm sorry, I'm kind of speeding it up on some of these ones that don't matter as much. Deathloop, Forza, Ratchet, Returnal, Resident Evil has to go to Resident Evil. I cannot see how another game could win this. Also, I haven't really been saying what I think might win for all of these. I think everything I have voted for so far should win and will win. This one, it has to be Resident Evil. If it doesn't, I'll be amazed. The sound design in that game is incredible. Best performance. I think that Gus from Breaking Bad wins this no matter what, just because he has actual fame behind him and he's like a real industry name. So I think he just wins by default, especially because of Breaking Bad. But we also have the two mains from Deathloop, Lady Demet, Big Mama Milkers from Resident Evil Village, and I assume the main character from Life is Strange. But of course I gotta vote for Gus, and I think he's gonna win. I mean, if he doesn't, I'd be amazed. Even though the game is not very good, I think maybe honestly he shouldn't win because of one of these. But if we're talking about his performance, I'm sure he has a great performance. I assume he's gonna win. Games for Impact: Before Your Eyes, Boyfriend Dungeon, Chicory, Life is Strange, No Longer Home. I don't know any of these games. Boyfriend Dungeon does sound like a good time, but I'll throw one for Life is Strange. This, I don't really know. Any of these could win. Probably Life is Strange just because it seems like the most popular of those, because that's the only one I've heard of. Best ongoing game: Apex, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and Genshin. I actually heard that Final Fantasy XIV did a full reboot of the entire online, that whole MMO, there was a apocalypse and then it restarted, which I heard about, and it's very intriguing. But for me, this has to go to Apex of the 4 games we have to choose from. Now, the next category, Best Indie: 12 Minutes with our boy William Dafoe and Split, Death's Door, Inscription, Kena, and Loop Hero. I don't know any of these games except for Kena and 12 Minutes, but I was pretty intrigued by 12 Minutes. It's a pretty cool game and a cool idea, so I'll give it to them, but I do think Kena could win this for sure. It's kind of a rough indie lineup this year. Last year we had such great indies, Hades was last year, man. Best mobile game: Fantasian, Genshin, League of Legends, Wild Rift, I don't know what that even is, Marvel Future Revolution, and Pokemon Unite. Is Pokemon Unite the really terrible League of Legends one that's pay to win? Is that what that is? I'm gonna go for Marvel Future Revolution. I actually play this game on mobile. Don't tell anybody, but I actually play the game on mobile. Obviously Genshin will win, but what are you gonna do? Best community support. I don't really have a say for any of these. I don't really have an investment in any of these games, but it's Apex, Destiny 2, Final Fantasy XIV, Fortnite, and No Man's Sky. I know No Man's Sky is the Cinderella story, but I'm going to give it to Apex. I know D2 is doing a lot better now as well, but... innovation in accessibility. I don't know anything about accessibility here, but I know that Sony is always very good with it, so I'm going to send it Ratchet's way. Far Cry 4's Guardians, Ratchet, and The Veil, whatever that is. Best VR: Hitman 3, I Expect You to Die 2, Lone Echo 2, Res 4, Sniper Elite VR. Don't know any of these. I've heard Hitman VR is pretty cool. I really like Resident Evil 4 though, so I'm just going to send it that way. I don't even know how good it is on VR. Any of these could win, really. Best action game. Here we go. We're getting into some interesting waters now. Best action game: Back 4 Blood, Chivalry 2, Deathloop, Far Cry 6, or Returnal. Easily Returnal. The only reason I don't see Returnal winning is because it is a very niche game. It's also a PS5 only game, and it was released during a time where a lot of people didn't have a PS5 and still don't. Deathloop could win as well, though. Deathloop's very well made. But it should be Returnal, to be completely honest. Returnal is a very, very good game. Best action adventure. If they don't win Game of the Year, I think that Ratchet should definitely win this. So I'll give it to Ratchet again. But I could see Guardians winning this, or Resident Evil even is a pretty good adventure. So, could go either way. Best role-playing game. Okay, this is the category that I will be most angered by, and I think a lot of you will agree. They gave this category to Cyberpunk. I don't know any of this other shit. These two here I've heard of, but they're fucking anime games. And honestly, anyone who votes for these will probably be competing. Half of them will vote for this, half of them will vote for that, because they like anime games. And Monster Hunter's only on the Switch. I don't know what this is. I think Cyberpunk's gonna win best role-playing game, which is a fucking travesty if they win. They don't deserve a goddamn thing. They're the most, like, terrible game release ever made. Still, like, the most hated game I've ever seen. They don't deserve to win, and I honestly think they are, and people are going to go nuts. Like, people are going to boo and rage and chat, and all this shit's going to happen. So hopefully one of these anime games wins. For me, I've actually heard of Scarlet Nexus, and I've seen it, and I think it looks pretty cool, and I'll probably play it someday. So for me, it's going to Scarlet Nexus. Best fighting game? Do we even need to say? Do we even need to pretend like it's not Guilty Gear Strive? We've got Virtua, Nickelodeon, Guilty Gear, whatever Melty Blood is, and Demon Slayer, the Demon Slayer game. That's literally a fucking reskin of the Naruto games. But for me, it's Guilty Gear. I didn't play any of these games. I don't really play fighting games besides Smash. I'll play the new free-to-play. If you haven't seen that video, check it out. It was my last recent video. But the one by Warner Brothers. But the SpongeBob one, I would vote for. It just shouldn't have been released yet. They needed to wait a little longer. It's definitely not finished. Best family game. Now, for me, I have to vote for It Takes Two because the rest of these are Nintendo games. And, no. Nintendo, no. This is not a year for Nintendo, and it hasn't been in a very long time. I think Nintendo should just keep on going back to the drawing board and try and get to modern times. Especially with these options. Like, my Christ, remaster, port. And then also, is this a new game? I don't know. None of these are new. Like, that shouldn't win a Game of the Year award. They're not new games. Fucking Nintendo. Best Sim Strategy. Age of Empires 4, Evil Genius 2, Humankind, Inscription, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Flight Simulator will win, but these games are pretty good. But Flight Simulator will win. I would be amazed if it doesn't. Best Sports Racing Game. F1, FIFA, Forza, Hot Wheels Unleashed, Riders Republic. Riders Republic is a sick game, I gotta say. It's really good. But I think Forza just wins, honestly. It's basically the last thing Xbox can make that's, like, good. It's Forza, so I guess Microsoft Flight Sim. But Hot Wheels is a sick game, too. If it wasn't $70, I would play the shit out of that. Best Multiplayer, Back 4 Blood, Knockout City, Takes Two, Monster Hunter Rise, New World, and Valheim. For me, I didn't play New World. For me, it's Valheim. But New World will win this. Fucking easily. New World wins this by a mile. But for me, it's Valheim. It's where my vote has to go. Content Creator of the Year. Can we skip? We can skip, but I prefer to vote for everything. Do I even need to say who's going to win? I don't really want to say the person's name because it's extreme cringe and I don't want to start getting destroyed. I don't know who any of these other people are. We'll just go like this and I won't look. I got the middle guy. Obviously this dweeb is going to win, but whatever. Next category, Best Debut Indie. Artful Escape, Forgotten City, Kena, Sable, Valheim. Valheim wins easily. I hope anyways. They're kind of forgotten, I guess. Most anticipated game. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, the Breath of the Wild 2, and Starfield. Jeez, this is quite the category between these three. I think what happens is the PlayStation votes get split between these two, and then everyone else votes for Elden Ring, and Elden Ring wins. For me, it's definitely one of these. I think the new God of War is going to be more of the same, like what the last one was, which is an incredible game. But I'm more interested in the massive leaps they made with Horizon to like a true sequel. And I am very excited for Elden Ring as well. I think Elden Ring will win this category in a washout, but that's okay. Best esports game. Always have to go for CSGO unless Valorant's there. But the thing is that Valorant is a better CSGO. But everyone who plays this mostly came from League, so it is the worst community in online gaming by far. This and Rocket League are the two worst communities in online gaming. So maybe I vote for Counter-Strike. Maybe I vote for Dota 2, because Dota 2 is epic, and I played it once 10 years ago. Just kidding, we'll vote for Counter-Strike. It would be Valorant if the players weren't so god-awful, and I kind of still pretty bad, honestly. Best esports athlete. Does this matter? Can someone find out if this matters? Next. Best esports team. Does this matter? Is there a not phase option? We'll say this Valorant team. Only 2 more. Best esports coach. They get less interesting as they go. There's like, who are y'all? Who are you people? I like the name Silent. That's a cool name. Next. Best esports event. What's the International 2021? Let's do that. I think we did it, boys. We voted for everything. That is it. The Game Awards. We did it. We clapped them out under 20 minutes. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Game Awards December 9th. Make sure you guys vote. Make sure you guys tune in to the Game Awards. Watch them live on YouTube and Twitch, I believe. Not a sponsor. I just like the Game Awards. Yeah, we'll see if they screw it up like they did last year and give all the awards to one game that doesn't deserve them. But you never know. Make sure you guys vote. It's in the description. And leave a comment what you thought of my votes. How many do you think I'll get right out of 30? Maybe not including those eSport ones because I don't know anything about that. But the rest of them, I think I was pretty spot on. I think I have a good luck of getting most of them right this year. Last year, I was almost all wrong. But there's not that much to choose from this year as far as quality goes. So maybe I'll pull this one out. And we can start looking forward to next year. A lot of crazy games coming out in February and in 2022 as a whole. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed. Check out all this kind of Game Awards-y stuff, like I said in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Make sure you subscribe if you did enjoy. Leave a like and a comment and all that stuff. Let me know. It really does help the channel when you guys comment something and it engages with the video, helps the algorithm, all that kind of stuff. Just let me know what kind of games you liked on this list. What games you think were robbed, should have been on these Game of the Year awards, stuff like that. Alright, see you guys.